Hello, Psych 150. This is our week 13 video, November the 11th through November the 17th. This week we are starting chapter 15, Psychological Disorders. Now I know I feel like I say this every week, but this is truly my favorite chapter. I think it's the best chapter of the entire semester. Those of you who know me through office hours know that I am a clinical psychologist. I worked in doing clinical psychology my whole career before I started teaching, so this is kind of my wheelhouse. I think this is a really important chapter, even if you never take another psychology class ever, in just getting to learn a little bit about psychological disorders, mental health. Chances are someone in your life, maybe a friend, family member, maybe somebody you work with, even yourself, someone that you come across is going to have a diagnosis of some type of psychological disorder. So it's really helpful in your life to know about symptomology, symptoms that people experience, therapy, how we help people with psychological disorders, and really just about how it affects someone's life. So I think this is a really important chapter. It's a large chapter, so we are going to divide it into two parts. This week we are doing part one, which will cover the mood disorders, things like major depression and bipolar disorder. We will cover a few of the personality disorders like antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and then also the dissociative disorders, things like dissociative amnesia or dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder. Now, a lot of these diagnoses should sound familiar to you because of your written project. And from talking to a lot of you after doing these written projects, getting some great emails, and also listening to all of your class videos last week talking about things that you learned, a lot of people have a lot of interest in these. And maybe some of them you've heard of before, but you don't know a lot about. So this is a great opportunity to really learn a lot about mental health, to learn about these different diagnoses. Now, here is our checklist for this week. You'll see that you have only your week 13 quiz. We don't have any homework or anything else that's due. We do have the same extra credit opportunity of turning in the course eval for extra credit for the final exam, which we'll talk about in just a second. But otherwise, you only have your quiz due this week. Here is the link to the textbook. Again, in this chapter, more than any others, make sure that you know that it is just a supplement. Because of my background and because I am a clinical psychologist, all of my lecture comes directly from my personal experience and teaching about psychological disorders. I will mention that I've heard from many of you that found that project really interesting and wanted to learn more about other classes. I do teach abnormal psychology, which is Psych 281 here at Wake Tech. I know that some people are getting ready to register for spring semester. If you are interested in taking that class, please reach out if you have any questions or anything like that. I'll be teaching it on South Campus in person in the spring. It's a wonderful class. It is definitely my favorite class to teach. We learn not only about causes of psychological disorders, we learned about symptomology, we learn about treatment, we talk a lot about research. It's just a really interesting class. And whereas we're just spending 2 weeks dividing this one chapter up, we spend the entire semester in that class talking about all different types of psychological disorders. Highly recommend. If you're interested and you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Here's your audio PowerPoint. I do have a few videos posted. These are completely optional, not required at all. I think a couple on dissociative identity disorder and one on, let me see, a video on psychopaths and sociopaths, it's a really long video. You probably don't want to watch the whole thing, but if you're interested in antisocial personality disorder, what it means to be a psychopath versus a sociopath, it's a very interesting video to watch. Again, completely optional. Here's your quiz this week. I do want to mention that it is a very short quiz. This quiz is only 5 questions, and you have 5 minutes to complete it. Because this chapter is so large, it's a lot of information. I've shortened the quiz for 5 questions this week, 5 questions next week on that lecture. So Make sure you know also you only have 5 minutes compared to our usual time. So 5 questions, 5 minutes. I again wanted to bring up the extra credit opportunity for the final exam. Many of you have done this already, but if you do the course evaluation for this class, they're trying to up the numbers for that for our for Wake Tech in general. So they told us to offer extra credit opportunity. If you fill out the course eval for this class, you will get an email back confirming that you've completed that. If you take a screenshot of that email that confirms that you completed the course eval for this class, I will add 2 points onto your final exam score. I can't see what you wrote. I just want a screenshot of your confirmation email saying that you completed it. You cannot email it to me. You can't send anything else. You need to submit the screenshot. That way I can prove up the chain that you completed it and that I'm giving you extra credit for it. So submit the screenshot of your confirmation email for your course eval here for extra credit. I will keep track of those 2 points, and when you take the final exam, I will add it on. Now you'll find that right down here in the extra credit folder, many of you last week did the extra credit opportunity with the personality test that you submitted right here. Here is the portal for doing that for the course eval. While we've got this up, let's talk a little bit about the final. Our final exam week will open on December the 12th, which is a Thursday, and it will close on Sunday, December the 15th. Even though Wake Tech's total final exam week opens a couple days before, our final here opens December the 12th and we end on Sunday, December 15th. Now, I know a lot of instructors just have one day to take the final. I know in this class we have some people who work several jobs. Some people work 2 different jobs during the week. Some people only work weekends. So I wanted to give you an opportunity and have it opened on both of those days so that people can get it done and not be rushed to do it. So you have 4 days to do it. Again, no extensions for any reason. You have plenty of time. Make sure that that final exam is completed. There will be lots more information on the final in the coming weeks, but I just wanted to put those dates out there to make sure that you don't make any travel plans and that you make yourself available to take the exam between those days. That's about it for this week. Hope you all have a wonderful week. If you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to let me know.